Hey, what is going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. Today's actually episode 1 of a new series I'm going to be bringing to the channel, which is collection review, where I review your guys' watch collection. To start off today, we're going to be using my dad's collection because it was just the easiest to get hold of to start with. If you want to submit your collection, there's a link in the description to the email, which is itskibble talkswatches@gmail.com. Email me in your collection, and what I'd prefer is if you could get a picture of all your watches together, then a picture of each individual watch and maybe a bit of backstory, maybe how much it cost, where you got it from, when it was made, that sort of stuff, if you can provide it. If not, don't worry, I'll try and find the information myself. So without any more talking, the collection I'm reviewing, like I said, is my dad's, and he has a total of 11 watches. I'll put a picture up on screen now. His watches range from quartz to mechanical to automatic to vintage to newer to bought brand new to bought on eBay and all that kind of stuff. Now, most of his watches were bought on eBay, but there's a couple of exceptions, and we're going to go through his collection in no particular order. I'm just going to go through, talk about it. I'm going to give you basic information of each watch and then just my opinion on it, and at the end I will do a summary and decide what I think could potentially make the collection better, or if I think it's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, this is all just my opinion, and you shouldn't take everything I say seriously. If I say that I don't like something, don't treat it as if like you should not like it as well. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. So I'm going to have my notepad, which has got all the information on, and my phone, which has got the picture of the watch itself, and we're going to be starting off with the Timex Expedition 200 meter Indiglo. The reference to this watch is WR200M, as far as I can tell, and this watch cost him £10.50 on eBay, and its year of manufacture is around early 2000s. We've come to find. Now, as you can see, this watch is different. You know, it's got a blue face, it's got a very large bezel around the outside of the watch. Compared to the face, it's considerably large, which I think gives this watch its own personality, its own look. You know, there's not many watches like that have this small face, or in comparison, a small face to a huge bezel. And it makes it very easy to read, in my opinion. It's got that striking red seconds hand, which really just stands out. It's got the date at the 3 o'clock position. Overall, it's a very nice watch, and as far as I can tell, he's got it on a blue NATO strap as well, which just complements it really well. It's a really cool little diver, and to think he got a 200 meter water resistant diver for a tenner is just incredible. And by the way, the movement is a quartz. Yeah, really cool watch for his price. I don't see how you could go wrong at all. Okay, second watch we're going to be looking at is the Lotus Formula 1 Collection. It's a quartz watch, and this cost him £27.50 off eBay, and we are not 100% sure of the year of manufacturing, though we think it's again early 2000s. Now, he bought this off eBay, and the extra information he got was that the person bought it from Silverstone, which is a racetrack here in England, as a limited edition piece, special edition piece by Formula 1, by Lotus, which I think is really cool. It's got the tachymeter around the outside of the bezel. It's got the chronograph as well. It's a working functional chronograph, which is really cool, considering the chronograph is considered the second most complicated sort of movement out there, aside from the tourbillon, for the name of it for a second then. So that's really cool, and to think he managed to pick this up for £27.50. It's a limited edition piece. It's on a really striking red strap, which it really brings it out. You know, it's got that jet black face with the numerals around the outside, if you can see in the picture, are in red. It's got the hands of the chronograph are in red as well. I think overall it's a really nice looking watch. It's a perfect size watch as well, and the way the lugs are so thick as they curve out as well, it's a really individual watch. You know, it's not trying to be something it isn't, and I think that gives it a really unique look. Again, with date at 3 o'clock, it's a perfect watch at the end of the day. It's got everything you need on there with the chronograph, and the tachymeter obviously giving that sort of that feeling of a racing watch, or sports watch. You know, very cool. Okay, the third watch we're going to be looking at in his collection is actually one of my favorites, just because of it again being a limited edition piece, but the way it looks, its size, it's really cool, and it being Red Bull as well. Like, what's not to like? But anyway, this is the Casio Edifice Red Bull Racing watch. The reference is EF-550RBSP-1AV. Yeah, if that helps anyone. These are all limited edition pieces, the Edifices in this genre. This was actually made in July 2010. and it cost him £63 on eBay, and again it is a quartz piece, but I think it's really cool looking watch. You know, it's unique. You can almost just tell it's an edifice by looking at it, you know, the way that it's sort of made. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but yeah, it's water resistant down to 100 meters as well, so it's very water resistant. I just love the style of this. You know, it is a chronograph as well, as far as I can remember, so you've got that functionality as well. I just love it. You know, you've got, I'm not too sure what it is, but on the right side you've got that almost like a barrel of a gun with or the, what do you call it, the cartridge of a gun, you know, like a revolver, with the different colors, blue and red. I'm not too sure what that is, so Dad, if you could let me know down in the comments, that'd be brilliant. But it's got the Red Bull logo on the dial at the top as well. It's got a tachymeter around the outside. It's got these weird sort of screws around the outside of the bezel as well, which just give it that little bit more personality, and it's a rather large watch as well. I think you said it was 43mm, so it's a big piece, but it looks great. I really love the look of this piece. You know, you've got your date complication at 7.5 hours, yeah, about 7.5 hours, which is a very unusual place to put it, but it's still very readable right there. I just love the edifices. I would love to get myself an edifice one day, and yeah, this one is a really cool one. So, and with it being 63 quid, you know, for a limited edition piece, I don't see how you could go wrong. I've not seen any of these up for sale. If you've seen any of them, let me know, but I haven't seen any. They're really cool. I really like this watch. Okay, the fourth watch we're going to be looking at is actually the Dom watch. This is a 1950s watch. He originally thought it was 1930s, but after, you know, researching the movement and everything, we found out it's actually 1950s. The watch is, well, on the dial it says it's a Geneve Felser 465, but I think that's I think that might be the movement. I could be completely wrong here, so sorry if I am. It's a manual winding watch, and my dad has actually purchased another strap for it, because as you can tell by this picture, the strap is pretty beaten up. But I really like this watch. I think it's got a very unique style to it. You know, it's very military-esque. You know, it's trying to be, or not trying to be, it could have well been a military watch. You know, it's got very big numbers, very bold. You know, you've got the very pointed hands as well, which are really easy to read. It's also got in red the numbers going around the outside with the track markings. It's a really nice vintage piece. And you know, I've never seen a Dom watch ever in my life. So it's got that little bit of history to it, I guess, as well. You know, being 1950s, it's a very unique watch, and the fact that it's still running to today is really cool. And I love the second hand. It's a very thin hand, but then it's got that red point at the end, which is like almost touching the outside of the case. You know, really cool watch. Very small though, if I remember correctly. It's a very small piece. I think a 33mm, so it's a very small piece. But either way, it looks great. Yeah, really cool piece. Okay, the next watch is the first watch I remember properly seeing, like ever, really. First watch I ever properly looked at and thought, that is really cool. And it is his Citizen Skyhawk Titanium Eco Drive. It's a quartz piece, obviously, but it's also an Eco Drive. As you can see, it's got a mix of digital and analog. It's got pretty much everything on the bezel. It's titanium, which means it's really light. You know, it is really a cool watch. It's got a very oddly coloured brownish dial with like a strikingly yellowy orangey second hand. You know, it's very nice. It's got lots of different settings. It's water resistant down to 100 meters. It's a very 100% a practical watch that is an everyday wear, everyday beater, can be used for so many different things, and you really just can't go wrong with it at all, in my opinion. Yeah, very cool functional watch. So yeah, and that's the same even to this day with these Skyhawks. And the story behind, well, it was made in 2005, and he bought it in Canada for $250, and that was when we was on holiday in Canada, so 250 Canadian dollars. I'm not too sure how much that is in pounds, but yeah, really good deal in my opinion for a Citizen. I can't fault Citizen at all. I love Citizen. Right now I'm actually wearing my Eagle 7. So, you know, I love Citizens. The Skyhawks are really cool as well. Their Eco Drives are brilliant. So, really cool practical watch. Okay, the sixth watch is one of my favorites again in his collection, and that is the Seiko Orange Monster. Very iconic watch. You know, you look at it and you know it's a Seiko Monster. The lume on this thing is just incredible. I still can't get over how great it is. The reference for this is 7526-0350. It's an automatic movement, obviously, and he picked it up for £85 on eBay, and the year of manufacture of this exact watch is 1991. Now he has it, if I remember correctly, on an aftermarket rubber strap, or it could be the original. I'm sorry if I've said the wrong thing. Which is that really cool sort of bubbled look rubber strap. It's got this striking orange dial. You know, you've got that very, very bold numbers around the outside on the bezel, and also inside with the huge lume markers. It makes it such a brilliant practical watch. It's the perfect size. Okay, so we was just in the middle of talking about the Seiko Orange Monster, and the recording stopped after that, and I'd finished the whole video. It was a 22-minute long recording, and it stopped at 11 minutes something, so I've got to do the rest of it again, so please forgive me if I lose trail of thought of what I was saying. I can't remember what else I said about the Seiko Orange Monster, so yeah, let's just move on, shall we? Sorry about that. Okay, the next watch, watch number 7, is this Seiko 5. Now, a lot of you probably know of the Seiko 5. Those of you who don't, where have you been? It is the reference 7019, which is the same reference as the watch I actually reviewed, the Seiko 5. But this is the reference 70198180. Obviously, it's automatic, and this cost him £15. So an absolute bargain. Yeah, what else can be said? It's a 1970s watch. It's a very, very awesome looking watch. This has a checkered dial. Mine had a striped dial. But I'm not going to say any more on this watch because I actually have a full in-depth review of it on my channel. So go check it out if you want to know more about this watch. I rate it highly. I think it's a brilliant watch. Okay, this next watch is the Seiko Lord. It's the reference 5Y66. It's a quartz watch. It cost him £33 on eBay, and we've estimated it to be the mid-2000s. Now, this is, I'm going to be honest in this series, so if you really can't take criticism, then don't send in your collection. But if I'm honest, I don't like this watch. I think it looks very cheap, and I know a lot of people are going to be against me on this. And I think even I know for a fact my dad will be as well, because he likes the watch. But I'm just really not a fan of it at all. I think it looks quite cheap and tacky. But I can understand why someone would like it. And you know what I do like about it? It's 100 meters water resistant, and it has these 3 dials which are a date complication on the dial. You know, you've got the 24-hour at the bottom to show whether it's like morning or afternoon, like which part of the time it is. You've got the 31 days on the right, and then you've got the days of the week on the left. That's a really cool complication. I like that. I like that it's very sporadically placed on the dial. It doesn't seem very well structured in that sense, and it gives it a bit of a messy look. I actually like that, but I just don't like the design of the watch. I think the bezel's a bit awful. That's just my opinion. Like, I'm not a fan of this watch, and that's it really. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Sorry if it looks like I'm crying, I just had a sneezing fit. But anyway, moving on, we're going to be looking at the Orient Crystal Blue. Now, first off, I'm going to put up a picture of it with the stainless steel strap on. He's actually recently changed it out for a NATO, which I'll show you in a second. This is a brilliant watch, also referred to as the Orient 3-star. Was made in the same sort of era as the Citizen Eagle 7, which I'm wearing right now, and the Seiko 5. It was made to compete with them. It's a brilliant watch. This has a really striking blue dial with sort of like a sunburst effect when at certain lights. It's got a day and a date. There's nothing to complain about this watch at all. I really, really like it. Very clean, very elegant. It's got the Orient logo, which looks brilliant. It's just a really functional watch, and I'll show you on the NATO strap now. I'm not a fan of NATOs. I dislike NATOs. That's just my personal opinion. I'd much rather have a stainless steel bracelet or a rubber, or a leather, or suede. I just don't like NATOs. They're the last thing I'd probably put on a watch, but I think that looks brilliant on that NATO with the blue and the red. I think it looks really good. So, good choice. I also like the way this watch is shaped, you know, with the way it slopes down at the lugs. It gives it a very bold statement, you know, on the wrist. I think it looks great. Okay, we're moving. Oh, by the way, that was the reference EMSM-COCA automatic, and it cost him £10.50. And it's between the 70s and 80s era. I don't think you can go wrong for £10.50 at all. I think that's brilliant. Okay, moving on. This is another Orient Crystal, and it's actually the reference 46943 KLEM5J-C0CA. It's an automatic, and it also cost him £10, and around the same era. This Orient, where do I start? It is is the best looking watch in the collection by far, in my opinion. You know, the complication is, well, it's not really a complication, but you've got the date, the days of the week in the middle, and it moves this little red bar that fills in that gap. I think that looks amazing. You've got the date at 6 o'clock position. It's a very well laid out watch. You've got the writing that goes around the outside. You've got the lume marks going round. You've got the numbers going around the outside as well. It's a really freaking nice watch. I remember when you brought it around to show me, and it looks incredible. So this is the best looking watch in your collection by far. There's not really much else that needs to be said on it. I'm really hoping that I can get my hands on it soon and give it a review, because I think that is a really cool looking watch. It's an aftermarket, if I remember correctly, a Timex strap. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not the correct size, but it looks great on it nonetheless. It's a very thick leather strap as well. Really brilliant watch. Really, really brilliant. My favourite of your collection by far. And it costs you £10. £10 and 50p. Like, who is spending thousands of pounds on watches when you can get watches for a tenner that are like that? Like, come on. Makes no sense. And the final watch of the collection, sorry if this seems really rushed, guys, but I was literally finished and it's just corrupted the files. I don't know why, so I'm sneezing like mad. I just want to get it over and done with now, so sorry about this. But the final watch is the Swatch System 51 in red. I love this watch. You know, it's called System 51 because it's made out of 51 pieces. It's just a really awesome watch. Like, is so nice. I want this exact watch but in blue, the exact same one, because I think it just looks incredible. I love the red hand there. I love the date in red. I love the dial, the way it's laid out. I love that the markers are on the bezel. I just think it is such a cool looking watch, and I think you've got yourself a really, really nice watch right there. It's obviously using the ETA C10111 automatic movement. Cost him roughly £65 on eBay, brand new. Like not opened, and it was made in 2016. I think this is the coolest watch in your collection, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think every collection needs a really bright, vibrant piece that they can wear with bright clothes in the summer that just stands out and pops. This is that watch. I think this is a lifetime keeper. It's just a really awesome, funky watch that has a story behind it. You know, 51 pieces. It's amazing. It's almost like a little, you know, a little timepiece of history right there, that they made it with 51 pieces. But yeah, to conclude, I think you have a very well-rounded collection with divers, with dress watches, with sports watches, with all these different kind of watches. I think you've got it really nailed perfectly. It's the perfect collection. Now, this is my personal opinion. I'd say get rid of the Seiko Lord. I do not like that piece, and I think it kind of brings down the collection a little bit. But that's my personal opinion, and I'm sure you'll disagree because you've had it for a while, and I'm sure many other people will disagree as well. But I just don't like it. I think it's, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many quartz or automatic pieces you have, but I think this maybe just makes it a bit too many quartz, and also it's just a, I don't like the look of it personally. You know, this is my personal opinion. And for £33, I think there's so many better watches out there that you could potentially get. So that's my personal opinion. I'd say get rid of that, replace it maybe with another diver if you can, or a really, like, ultimately clean dress watch, like an Orient Bambino. That would just look great. It's just like really clean. Yeah, I'd say that, but apart from that, it's a really well done, well thought out collection. I think it's brilliant. So that's going to do it right there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this watch review, collection review, that's what it's called. And if you want to send in your collection, I've already listed how you have to do it. The email is in the description. Send it in. It doesn't matter how many watches you have, the quality of the watches, the age, the price, none of that matters. If you have a whole collection of Daniel Wellington, send it in. Like, just send me in your watches and I will review them. Don't send me in your watches. Send me an email with your watches. That's what I mean. But thank you all very much for watching. Sorry this last half was rushed, but I'm about to like explode in my head because my hay fever's just got really bad. So please forgive me, and I'll catch you all again in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Take care.